What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 19th of August. Here we are at about 1.33 cents with 5 hours, 48 minutes left in the day. Man, the trolls were out in full force yesterday because the price literally tanked as soon as I put out my video saying the OnyxCoin low is in. And I got news for you guys. I still believe the low is in. Yes, even with these this past like 14 hours of transactions that have taken place to the downside, I still believe the low is in. Primarily because one of the things that I said, actually, there's a couple of things that I said in my last video for OnyxCoin, which is that even if we do go lower, all those bullish things are still true and we're still going to go higher, right? We're very near the low, if not at the low, but I believe that we are at the low. And the thing that I did say that did prevail true in that video was that Bitcoin can go lower and OnyxCoin does not have to, and that's exactly what happened, right? Bitcoin saw a lower low, OnyxCoin did not, and I think that's very validating to the idea that we have a low here. Now, these wicks are not too friendly, but OnyxCoin is pumped up in the face of ugly wicks before. We've seen some, pretty big wicks to the upside before here, consolidated and still moved up, right? We got down here, let's see. We had a pretty big wick there and we still moved up, right? And then here, 2 wicks back to back, we consolidated for a little bit, but then moved up. Maybe we consolidate a little bit, but I very much do believe that this is the low. I don't think that we go lower. Let's see if we can dissect this a little bit more and prove that right or wrong. Maybe we'll see. Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, a lot of volume on the way up, good bit of volume on the way down too, but it died off, from up here, it died off pretty well. You're getting more volume coming in up here to the downside, but you're getting higher lows. So it's like you're pushing it down, but you're not pushing it down, right? You're getting higher lows. At least as of now, you're getting higher lows. Let's just see how that upholds. 1 hour time frame here, the RSI actually looks pretty good, right? This is exactly what I was saying back when we were over here. What we want to see is not getting oversold and then not living above the 50 for too long and then getting oversold, not getting overbought. We want to see getting overbought, living above the 50 and not getting oversold, which so far we're doing that. So far it looks good, and we're actually finding support at the same areas we found support before, but with a bit more of a bullish posturing to us. So I don't mind this at all. Right, look at the 1 hour, it's a bit volatile, but I don't think this is a bad thing at all, guys. We're still moving up with more volume than we've seen really throughout this whole damn range. There's some activity going on here, and I don't think that it's a bearish thing. We'll see. I might eat my words on that. And if we do go lower again, everything's fine. Everything's completely fine. Who cares? We go down to 1.17 cents and everything's fine. I don't think that we do, but again, that is that kind of low end target. 4 hour time frame here, 1 hour, 46 minutes left. It's like you're getting these bearish wicks, right? Very clear sell signals. But why aren't you selling? Bitcoin's going lower. Why aren't you selling? Ethereum's going lower. XRP is going lower. All the top altcoins are going lower. Why aren't you selling? Why aren't you going lower? Why are you holding this area? Maybe because there's no more sellers. Maybe because we've had our fill of selling and now people are buying this thing up and we're shaking out the markets a little bit. Someone could have fat fingered this multiple times, people putting in a lot of money. In fact, I want to see if we look at this on the 15-minute time frame, if there's, or maybe even the 5-minute, 1 minute. Let's just like really dissect this. Let's just see what the volume has been like. Looks like there was a lot of offloading there, I think. Right? But every sell's a buy, every buy is a sell. So it's not quite like that. The most volume we had in a single minute was a pretty big wick to the upside there. Right? You got a lot of volume up here too. I bet somebody literally sold and then bought back in right here. they literally duped the market there. Not a whole lot of like consistent, concise volume like that. I mean, we're getting these volume spikes to the upside, that's for sure. A little bit to the downside here. I don't know, man. I don't know. Not really anything too conducive from that. If anything, it looks like someone sold the top and then bought the low right there, and they haven't sold back out yet. So I'm assuming there's some accumulation going on. But looking at this on the indicators, the RSI looks all right. The stochastics are not getting oversold. They're actually bouncing off the oversold zone. This is a really good thing. If we were doing this to the upside, I'd be concerned, right? We were doing that back here, we went lower. We were rejecting the overbought zone here, we went lower, right? When we were getting overbought, not rejecting it, we pushed higher a little bit. And I've got this so zoomed out, you can't really see it, but we pushed higher a little bit. Now things are a little bit different on a relative scale. We're moving up a lot bigger. So I like this support zone here. The MACD does have lower lows in the oscillator, but higher lows in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. We also have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows on the price. It's hidden bullish divergence on both accounts. So that's great. It's actually great. We're in a very bullish posturing, I'd say, for all 3 of these indicators right now to move up even by the end of this day, let alone going into the next day. 4 hour time frame. The 4-hour RSI is very bearish. We're finding resistance now in the same area that we have before. Doing it a little bit differently. We're not just moving straight down. We're kind of dilly-dallying here, which is nice. Different behavior might get different results, but I'm not going to hold my breath over that. Stochastics, I don't like the stochastics, right? Typically, you just move up. Typically, you don't do this, where you like mess around and then you move up, right? It happens, and we might be doing it here, but I don't really like that look. And the MACD, I do like this look, actually. It looks like we're coming up to cross above the zero. If we can cross above the zero between the next couple of days, I think that'd be very fantastic. But to do that, I think it'd be very helpful if this 4-hour candle did not close red. If we could close it green a little bit higher, get this histogram to build bullish momentum, not decay in bullish momentum. That's what we want to see, because if we decay here, we look to reject the zero, that actually could promote lower prices. And we'll probably know by the end of today. By the time I make my next OnyxCoin video, we'll probably know. So I'm not too worried about that. You know, and if we have to call for the price to go lower than this low, we'll probably be able to decipher that before prices are actually below this low. So it shouldn't be as detrimental, right? Looking at the daily time frame here, bouncing off the oversold zone, right? Finding support in the same areas that we have the last couple of times. Not a bad reaction there. Bullish divergence on the MACD, a little bit of bullish divergence on the RSI as well. But overall, very bearish looks on all of them. These stochastics give me a little bit of hope that we're going to move up from here. The RSI too, just because of where we are. But you know, if we didn't look at this stuff, just looking at it for what it is here, it is a pretty bearish scenario that we're in. So we do need to move up. We can't really dilly-dally here for too long. We don't want to see this come back down. So hold up above, I suppose, like 1.25 cents. That's what we want to see. Close above 1.5 cents. That's the ultimate goal at this point in time. Close above 1.5 cents, and then we should be moving on to higher prices. Okay. Once we go to higher prices, once we close above 1.5 cents, we're well on our way to 2 cents and beyond. You get above 2 cents, you break away from this range. All the pain of the past is forgotten, except for the people that panic sold and are FOMOing in at the top. You know, it's not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but even if you buy this thing at 2 cents, if you sold it down here at 1.3 cents or you sold it down there at 1.2 cents, you could buy it back at 2.1 cents. And it's still going to go to 26 cents. There's nothing you can do to stop it. 26 cents, and I mean, you're going to get an over 10x return. So even if you had a 50% loss or less or more, you can still turn that into some gains if you just play it right. But I don't really have anything else that I want to say, man. I think I've said everything that I need to say. I am expecting that Bitcoin's found its low. Of course, I could be wrong on that. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But with that, you know, altcoins, Ethereum, XCN should have an easier time moving up. And I think that by the end of this day, you know, we're looking at Bitcoin here. I think we will pull the skirt up a little bit and show a wick underneath. It might be a day like this here. We got 5 hours, 41 minutes left in the day. Let's see if we do get some recovery going on. And again, that should influence the markets rather well. You know, Ethereum too, I've noticed that OnyxCoin does track Ethereum a little bit more closely than Bitcoin, right? Like if Bitcoin's seeing lower lows, but Ethereum's not, OnyxCoin's likely not seeing lower lows either. But Ethereum and Bitcoin both saw lower lows today, and OnyxCoin has not seen that. I would think Ethereum has found its low too. You know, being here at 41.79, I think that we found our low. We'll see. We'll see. That's a good reaction off the oversold zone, but can it persist? We need to keep going. That's the only trick there. There's a lot of top coins that look like they found their low, so I'm pretty optimistic, right? You had a lot of volume come here for Ethereum, and you didn't really go anywhere, right? You barely went lower, right? You didn't pull a move like this where you just like dumped down like this, right? You barely went anywhere at all. But your RSI does look like crap overall, to be completely fair. So let's see if these coins, if the top coins can hold. I think the OnyxCoin can hold. I'm just talking at this point, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.